Hi, it's me again, Christian from ancoreSoft, on how to add tables and pivot tables to ancoreShare server. As always, log on to our management console, switching to design reports, and we're gonna reuse one of these reports, the sales report. I'm going to duplicate and call it pivot table, sales report pivot table. Save, design, and we're going to remove that object here and drag and drop instead one of our pivot tables. So I'm going to type pivot and I see I have only one, and it looks a little bit more than a straight table, not a pivot table. That is because by default, the sales analysis inside the consumer sales does not have any pivoting group here. But nevertheless, we're going to add and to resize it. You don't have to size it up. That is not important because since it is a table, it will be automatically just as height as it is required by the content. So we can leave it like that. That's okay. Important is that you use the width that you need. So if we reduce the width, all the columns will be divided by the width you have, so they become smaller, and we're going to enlarge it automatically. All the columns will be larger. Okay. And that being said, I'm going to start the PDF export, and let's see what's going on. You can see we have 8 pages, and there's the customer, year sales, last year sales. So that is not an image of the uh, table here, year on year, but it is a perfectly column repeating header on each page reflection in a real table. Real table means when we go to zoom in, yeah, everything is real font, and that's why it is always in a perfect resolution. Okay, but we said we want to see the pivoting functionality. So we're going to edit sheet, and we add another field here, another dimension. We're going to use the region name and pull it up, the region name to be the first column here. And now we have a pivoting column here. Good. Just save, going back to our application, and yes, restart the PDF export. And now we have our region name also inside, and you see the pivoting is working perfectly. It's going centered on the first and the second and the next one starting here. What we are missing is we do not have any total values here. Okay, change that, edit sheet, region name, show totals. Now we have a total column too. Save, redo our PDF, close that in the meantime. And now we should have a total column, and for each I missed it. We also need customer totals. So we have a generally total and for each customer. So that means for each region will be shown also one. Totals, totals for central region. Okay. But what if we want to have some formatting inside? Let's see. When we're going to click on the table object, we have here the so-called table settings. And inside that, we find the set column styles. Let's see again the content. And we see we have values between 11 millions, 600,000. So Let's say when we have a value over 600,000, we want to have the content in green on the total sales column, which is the one, two, third column. Third column. Okay. So column styles, we add a new column style and we ask, please check our third column. And inside the third column, we wanted to check for non-total values and all of them that are greater than 400,000 shall not be changed to font, not alignment, but we want to have the fill color in green and the font color in white. We're going to call that good sales. And we repeat our PDF export. So from now on, we have the perfectly styled um, column styles here. When we check our export PDF, we see that we don't need the full space here. We could even shrink the table a little bit to the left side. So now that we have a little space here for another object. And in this object, we're going to use maybe this KPI and another one. And another one. So it is possible to have on the left side the table, and it automatically will add new pages if required. And on the right side, we have our KPIs on the first page. Let's arrange it a little bit more centered. And as we see, that is not perfectly aligned. So right mouse click, align on the right. And I don't like to have the borders. So I'm going to remove the border here, here, and here. And once again, start the export. Now, in that case, we have 3 additional images. The report takes us slightly a second longer, so it takes 9 seconds to create 8 pages plus these images. And you see we have our table, our images on the right side, and then the repeating table because it takes 7 more pages. And that was using tables and pivot tables in ancoreShare server. Thank you. Bye bye.